All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Full Disclosure, where we tell it to you like a T.I. motherfucking is. You know the place. I'm Derek Lamont Williams the first. We got Big Dick Dashley, Rich Green in the house, and the little lady in the house, Lisa Burnett. And we have our first returning guest. No, Dave was our first returning guest. Well, our returning guest, very special, my son, Derek Lamont Williams II. Tell him what's up.
Hey, everyone.
You got a little talk about your little EP that's out. Go ahead and plug it. Give a little plug.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a little EP I dropped. I got some more songs coming. I got some collaborations with other artists. I'm collaborating with a lot of artists that I grew up. I mean, we've been rapping since middle school, high school. Now I have a studio, so it's like, okay, come over. We do songs. So we trying to build something from the ground up and see where we can take it. But I'm gonna give you all the link to that before the show is over. So stay tuned.
SoundCloud. So what's up, y'all? All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, Big Dick? What's going on?
All right, man. I can't call it, man. I'm glad to be here. I want to say what's up to everybody that's joining us. Appreciate y'all support, y'all opinions.
We got people joining in already.
Oh yeah.
Holla at them.
What's up, Kenneth Smiley? What's going on with you, Patrick Bubba Boys Cole? Hey, that's my man right there. He chimed in yesterday too. Hey, by the way, because of you, Patrick, I went and listened to a little Kevin Gates. Went through his little catalog. Actually, man, I like his songs. We'll talk about that. That'd be something on another show that we're gonna have to discuss as far as it goes with that man. But he kind of nice. We had a little debate. I put up a video of Kevin Gates and. Patrick was like, we all like what he has to say, but what is his music like? And you know what, man? Overall, his music reflect what he say in his interviews. So that's what's up, y'all.
I know I've heard a little bit of him. You know what I mean? I haven't went through a lot of his music, but I've seen a lot of his interviews, and he half woke.
Yeah.
He on his way. You know what I mean?
It's surprising.
He half woke, bro. I love. Yeah, he coming.
All right, well, shoot. I say, D, we start with the ladies. Lisa, what's on your mind today?
So, I want to talk about this book that I read by this woman. Her name is Rhonda Barnes, something like that. It's called The Secret. Okay. And I promise you, y'all need to read this book. You need to read this book if you ain't already read it. Everybody need to read this book. This book, changed my life. It's a life-changing information. So you go out and read it. And basically, this book just basically entails the secret to success, the secret to happiness, the laws of attraction, the universal law. So whatever you think is what you create. So we are so indoctrinated, so trained to think about what we don't want. And so we think about what we don't want, and that's what comes to form. That's what happens. And instead of focusing on what you don't want, start focusing on what you do want, and just see how things will change, just see how your life will change.
So is it right here?
Yeah.
Hold that up. This book she's talking about. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's the Secret. 10th anniversary edition. Rhonda Byrne. So you believe in the laws of attraction. You feel like what you put out, it's karma. It go back to what they taught in ancient Kemet.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do. I believe that what you put out there is what you get. So if you're always talking about, I can't stand this, I can't stand that, you always negative, you're going to always have negativity in your life. And I know for facts, I didn't realize what was going on until I realized what was going on. And it was so it was crazy. And at that moment, at that time, I didn't know anybody who understood what I was saying. So I was kind of by myself. So I kind of thought am I crazy? Am I tripping? But once I really start finding facts and start finding books and start finding information, start talking to people, then I knew I wasn't tripping. Mm-hmm. I went through a period in my life where nothing was going right. I couldn't get out this spot I was in, financial. My housing wasn't where I needed to be, and I was depressed. and I was kind of letting what happened to me in my life, in my childhood, kind of hinder me in growing. And then once I just got to the point where I'm like, what I'm doing is not working. It's like I'm still in the same spot. So obviously I need to change up my train of thought. I need to change up what I'm doing and stop being insane. And then once I realized that, it started like forgiving people and just start understanding things changed. It was so crazy. So I'm telling you, you guys, people are so focused on this Bible, on this religion aspect, and they praying to this God, Yahshua, whatever you want to call him, and not understanding that you praying to nothing. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but you got to understand that if you focus on this character, this person, whatever you want, however you want to categorize him, however you want to say whatever he is, it's not, nothing's going to happen because you're focusing on this false pretense where you need to focus on yourself. You are the God. You are the creator. You are your own creator of your own destiny. And this book is basically just showing you and teaching you how to do this and what to do.
As far as like manifesting
your ideas. Me, I made a vision board. And the vision board is just basically you get a piece of cardboard or whatever, tape some pictures up on the wall. Know what you want. Know exactly what you want. So let's say you want a new car. This happened from experience. I wanted a new car. You're saying you was there, seen it.
Know.
And I went to this auction, never been to this auction. I'm nervous because I'm like, if I get this car from this auction and it breaks down, then I'm not going to have the money to get it fixed. And my car already had broke down, but I wasn't stressing about that because I knew what I was about to get. So I went on ahead. I'm like, I pictured myself like literally, I could see myself, I could feel myself in this SUV. I researched it. I printed out pictures. I put it up on my wall, and I like literally just see myself and felt myself in this SUV. Got to the auction, seen it, was like, I don't care, don't know. This is what I'm getting. I'm taking this car home. This is mine. So, I'm betting. And it was somebody that was going against me, and he was trying, And I looked at him, and in my mind, I felt like, no, this is my car. Bye, get away. And then he just gave up.
That's what's up.
And I got the car I wanted, and
the rest is history.
Yep.
It's a very, very good book. You should check it out. And reading it, one of the things I took from it is, no matter what religion you believe in, look here, man. I one verse from the Bible, which is my favorite scripture. There's a scripture you can basically put your life on, and it's that faith without work is dead.
Say it again, man.
Faith. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, "Faith without work is dead."
Faith without work is dead.
Look, man, I don't care what you believe. If there's no action, if you don't take some kind of initiative yourself, your faith is dead. It starts with you. It's like if anybody knows, I've known this man, Richard Green, all my adult life. And if this man came to me and said, I need to borrow $500, man, and I'll give it back to you Friday, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, if it's the last $500 I got, I'm going to get it back Friday. I'm not even going to sweat it. Why? Because we got work, we got history, we got action. I can have faith because I know from experience that I had with this person that he's going to give me my money. I ain't even worried about it. But I'm going to let some Joe Blow walk off the street and ask me for $500. I don't even know where this motherfucker live at. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just going to have faith that he's going to give it back to me. You got to have some faith. You got to have some work. You just can't sit on the couch and ask God for a job and that you're going to get better if you don't take the proper steps to the illness out. It ain't even necessarily medicine about how you live. You got to do something. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something. People always
be meditating. And let them have. You can't expect to get something positive, but you're always negative. That's not going to work. You got to be thankful for what you have. Put it like this. You may not be where you want to be, but you ain't where you don't want to be. Look at your glasses being half full. Instead, we always look at our glasses being half empty and wonder why we keep getting nothing. Because we keep thinking nothing. And it's a hard process. It's a hard thing to do, to change your thoughts and to change your attitude when you've been thinking and doing that your whole life.
Correct.
But you just got to understand, like, if you can change your thoughts and change the way you
it's really
think.
not that difficult. It's really not. I mean, you just have to.
I mean, if you're in a certain situation
really
where at that moment you can't just get up and just leave because it might take a couple steps.
Well, no,
there.
but I'm talking about as far as your thinking.
Oh yeah,
as far as your attitude
thinking
towards your situation.
It is.
You have complete control of that. No matter what's going on around you, you have control of your attitude. You have control of how you deal with it. We have more. We have so much control that we don't even realize. It's crazy. We give all our control away. Like we have no say over the everyday things that happen to us, or maybe not what happened to us, but how we handle it, how we deal with it, how we live. Like, we let people dictate if we're gonna have a good day or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We let other people dictate if we're gonna have a good day or not, instead of wake up in the morning and proclaiming this is gonna be a good day, regardless of what happens. You know what I mean? Everybody has that ability. We just don't exercise it.
Yeah, and that's that's one of the secrets. You wake up and you might stub your toe, or you might wake up late, you know what I'm saying? And for the rest of the day, because you didn't hit your toe, now your shirt, you're missing the button on your shirt, or your clothes didn't dry, you know what I'm saying? Or the blow dryer ain't working. And then once you get out the house, you already running late. So now you're running late to work. And now you're like, oh my God, I'm about to be late, So finally, when you get to work late, because you kept thinking I'm going to be late, so now you really are late, and you're later than what you were going to be.
And you got to work with Betty, and she always running her mouth complaining about her husband cheating on her. And you be like, I don't want to work with this bitch. She going to get you complaining. Your dad's already shot in the ass.
Right. So you gotta be able to take a step back. You hit your toe. Damn, God damn it. Shit. And then going about your day. Cuss, hit the table, or whatever you just hit your toe on, beat it up, whatever you got to do to get past that moment, because that moment can dictate your whole day. It can dictate your whole attitude. Okay. And you're going to be negative. You're just going to keep bringing negativity to you. And you just got to stay positive.
Stay as positive. All right, let me go to Jerome Newman said, the faith is the foundation. And if you don't practice it, then you're a lost individual. So, I mean, that's a fundamental, to me, that's a fundamental law. If you believe it, you have faith, you go forward with that faith, no matter what your faith is. It goes back to what you were saying in the beginning.
But it has to be some action. Ain't no faith without action.
You can't just sit there. So gotta be on. I hear a lot of do this, and in the bed and all this. And what do you get? Tired ass man in the bed. Like
I see. I think like one thing is people shouldn't let other people determine their happiness.
Exactly.
And let material items determine their happiness. Like for example, I've known people who say, "Oh, I don't have an iPhone. You know what I mean? I'm not happy. I don't have what you have. I'm not." When we let material items and we let people control our happiness, then they're in control, and then we're mentally slaves. So that when we break free from that and we acknowledge our inner God and we have that inner peace and we all find that inner peace, then we can become the one. And then instead of people controlling happiness, people can like be a part of our happiness. You know what I mean? Just the ice. And that's the
Words you said was let. When we let, because that's what it is. We let. We you know, that's one thing about, you know, like alcoholism, you know what I'm saying, and all these, you know, addictions. Like we allow these things to control us. Like people tell like they can't quit smoking, and I don't know, because it's like this cigarette has no power over you. It doesn't. It's because you want to smoke it. You know what I'm saying? We want it. You know, the devil is busy. The devil's always busy with shit you want to do.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying, that we like to do. Like, I don't want to stop eating strawberry donuts. You know what I mean? I know I need to. You know what I mean? And I have to. You know what I mean? It's like so, but it has no control over me. Like if once I say I'm done, I'm done. You know, when I'm done with something, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It don't nothing be pookie in me out there. It's calling me, calling me, because you have the control ultimately over your environment, over your reality. You know what I mean? You really do.
You need to be more conscious of your thoughts and be more conscious of your actions. Once you become more conscious of your thoughts, and if you start living in the moment and stop living way beyond, and oh well, tomorrow I gotta do this, tomorrow I gotta go, oh man, so you gotta live in the moment. Then you start understanding that you are in control of your own thoughts. You know what I'm saying? We such a age today where we got to microwave everything. Everything got to be right now. Everything got to be right now. But we ain't focused on right now. Our minds ain't matching our bodies.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we had another comment by Jerome Newman. He said we have to look inside ourselves, because those that feel that they have control will make it difficult to achieve peace within. So that's that outside pressure you were just talking about.
Well, I mean, even if you want to tie it into religion, people like who do look for outer entities for their benefit, whatever it may be, like then you're relying on that instead of taking initiative your own self. So if I'm praying, look, so say you're sick, I'm praying, I'm relying on you to fix it, you know, but if I'm not doing anything, you know what I mean, like doctors, you know, they have to take initiative, you know what I mean? If you just pray over a sick body, it's going to stay sick. So at the same time, when you just bring it into religion, it's kind of like that inner God. Like when we are born, it's natural for us to walk and talk. We see our surroundings. You know, that's just that's instinct. No one teaches. You don't have to beat that on us. Talk. It naturally happens. So, it's just going to naturally develop within the inner God in us. It just takes the mentality shift from.
And that's true. That is key, because when you look at, when we're talking about the universe and we talk about the law of attraction, one of the fundamentals that we are everything is part of one entity. You know what I'm saying? We are all energy, and we attract other energy. You know what I mean? But one thing about religion separates us from God. You know what I mean? We're not a part of God. Like you said, God is the one that's doing it. So you then automatically took yourself from that situation. So now, power that you have, you're putting it into something that outside of you, and there's nothing to sustain. You know what I mean? There's nothing to
give your power away.
Yeah, you're counting on
slave.
Someone else to do something for you. When you know, and one of the analogies people always talk about the Father, like God's the Father, and if we're the children. And I like to use that because as a father, I try to see how I want to empower my kids. You know what I'm saying? I want to empower my son. And anything that I can give them, I will do it. I don't have to ask me for anything. You know what I'm saying? If I have it, it's theirs. If I know they're going to need it, you know what I'm saying? If I'm all knowing and I know they're going to need it, then they already have it. They don't have to ask me for shit. And it always just wonder why people feel like they have to ask the Father. If that's the Father, then he already has provided. There's nothing to ask for.
It makes absolutely no sense, because if we come from him and we are a part of him as we were taught, then why would you have to go on the outside source in order to talk to him, in order to understand and get answers from him? You're already a part of him. Like when I'm already God. Like when people be like, is that your father? Is that your father? They ain't asking if a white man is my father. They ain't asking if a Chinese man is my father. They're asking if this black man is my father because I'm black. So
you are what your parents
exactly. So if that's my father,
God
he is my creator.
father,
Wouldn't I already be a God, a little mini me, whatever you want to, however you want to put it? Wouldn't I already be that? So why would you have to go outside of that? What do you need a book for? What do you and I mean, and about this book, not The Secret, but this Bible. What is the point of going to a church to have a preacher or someone else read it to you? I can read myself. I did very well in school in reading, and I did very well in comprehension. That was one of my best subjects in school. So why do I need a man outside of God to tell me what this book said that somebody else 20,000 years, 200 years ago wrote?
It's how to take your power away.
To shift your interpretation.
Shift your power. That's
Shift
what
your
it is.
interpretation.
We could talk about this all day, but we at the
if you let
22
someone
minute
else
mark.
interpreted it, like you might interpret it something different. Like you reading it yourself versus you at a church with a crowd of people and he interpreting it his way and you following him. That you taking your own.
You are taking
away.
him the power.
And real quick for myself, people would say like I this exact scripture, faith without work is dead. They told me that it ain't what it say. It ain't what it really means.
What does it mean?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, wait. Veronica Thornton just chimed in. She said, once people tap into their own energy, they become aware of their own power and are not easily controlled, which is part of the reason for religion, to control.
Exactly.
And you know what? I would definitely have to agree with that, because it takes your power away. When you give your power to something outside of you, when you don't look inside yourself, that's where a lot of this hopelessness comes from. A lot of this confusion comes from.
Yeah, because we sit here waiting for God to
descend on us.
The problem is, and the problem's not
Hey,
getting
look, we can bang on this all day.
That's what I said. We're going to end it here.
We're going to come back to y'all.
I'm going to say this and I'm going to end mine. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end mine.
I tell you that God sits so high.
That's it.
And he looks down low. And he wants to know, how low can you go?
How low can you go?
How low can you go?
Hey, D.
2 times one time.
D.
3 times one time.
What's on your mind
Can you
today?
go down low?
No. We're going to take it there.
We want to do this. I guess we're going to do this with a new segment here. And I'm going to let Dick Dasley break it down. We're going to call it like the post of the week. And I'm going to let Dick Dasley break it down for y'all.
All right. So the post of the week, I wanted to share a video with you, but my computer is not cooperating. So I'm going to play some audio for you. Hopefully y'all can hear this. So this is a video. It's a store clerk, and there's a young black man, a black store clerk with a young black man with his mom in the store. The young black man is stealing gift cards. So you're probably going to only hear the audio. I wanted to show you the video. I was going to share my screen with you, but it's not allowing me to do that right now.
And I tell you, no, you got something, you got it. You got it right here. Look, that battery's in your pocket. You're still, I'm watching you on camera. And I tell you, what your ass.
That's not my son. Jay, you better not let you hit my son.
His son is still.
I don't give a shit if his son was mad. Get the hell beat your ass. You wrong. I told you I was right the battery. Why the fuck are you still?
Okay. So I don't know if y'all heard that. So what was going on in the video is it looked like they were in a dollar store at that. But it was a young man. I don't know. What would you say? He's about 13, 12, 13.
Definitely in the
teenage years. So he had stole some gift cards. He put them in his pocket. And the guy had witnessed him on camera put these gift cards in his pocket. Now, the guy said, I thought I told you about this before, about this stealing. He took a belt out and he commenced to whooping the little boy. Now, he hit him on his butt, I would say about 5 or 6 times. I mean, good. You know, the way we used to get whooped back in the day. He actually took him to the woodshed and whooped his little butt. So his mom runs in. Then what his mom said is, don't you put your hands on my son. That's my son. If his father wasn't in prison, he'd be whooping your ass right now, is what the mom said. And I told you I'd pay for it. So this didn't sound like something that was new. It sounded like something that happened before. And this guy had a conversation with this young man. Now, I had people comment because I posted this yesterday on my page. I had people come in and comment, and I just wanted to read some of the comments. I actually put it both on Instagram and Facebook, so I'm going to read some of the Facebook comments as it relates to this particular video. So then I want us to chime in, but I'm going to share some of this. Patrick Bubba Boy Cole said he was wrong. The boy's mother was there. He should have just told her. Roz Tootie Bay said, we all scream it takes a village. Yeah, he was right. I would have told his mama what's about to go down and did it elsewhere, not to cause her embarrassment. We have to ask, if this was our son, what would we have done? Kevin Brown said, back in the day, he would have gotten his ass whooped by the village as a reminder never to do it again. Kathleen Randolph came in. She said, if his father was not in prison, he should be whooping his ass. And Patrick closed it out as saying, I understand what you brothers are saying. I mean, I wish we could go back in time to those days. But even back then, if the parent was right there while the kid is doing wrong, you let the parent handle it. So I'm going to take it from there. Back in the day, whether it was at school or at home, we had people in the neighborhood. Let's just talk about the neighborhood first. I've had my ass whooped by my next door neighbor for doing something I know I shouldn't have been doing. My mama wouldn't have agreed. Miss Minnie pulled out her shoe, her dusty ass house shoe, and whooped my ass one day. I ran in the house and I told my mama. And my mama didn't go out there and cuss Miss Minnie out. You know what my mama did? My mama whooped my ass because I embarrassed her in front of Miss Minnie. Why did Miss Minnie have to whoop you? I know Miss Minnie. If Miss Minnie whooped you, you was doing something you shouldn't have been doing. So then I got a second ass whooping. Nowadays, if you even speak to these kids, you have the parent jumping in your face. Now, it used to be a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child. We don't allow the village to do that anymore. Now, I'm not saying anybody should be coming up and whooping your kids. Now, before I even get even deeper than that, when we went to school, we had something called corporal punishment. And the reason why they took corporal punishment out, honestly, is when they start force busing. When they start force busing, you had a lot of parents who had white children who didn't want black people spanking their kids. But they were well okay with white people spanking our black kids. That's why they took corporal punishment out. Then you had to sign this waiver if you wanted your kid to get paddled. I got paddled plenty of times in school, and every time I got paddled in school, I deserved to get my ass whooped. It wasn't one time that I didn't deserve it. And then I learned the corrective action. Now, I know it's a lot of people that say, you know, this whooping culture that we have within, I'm just talking about the black community. I can't speak on any other. I didn't grow up white. I grew up black. That we had this culture of whooping ourselves, which is a holdover from slavery, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I do understand the psychology behind that thought process. I could tell you that when pain was associated with doing a bad action and you whoop my ass, I stopped that bad action. I could tell you that when this man spoke to that little boy, he didn't speak to that little boy with disdain or disrespect. He said, I told you about doing this before. Then a mom comes in and says, if his father wasn't in jail, he would be whooping your ass. Maybe this man is saving the little boy from being in jail, just like his father. This is not the judge's father, because, you know, I'm assuming his father might be black. You don't know, but you can go to jail for anything in the United States, especially when your skin color is brown or black. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not saying that with dissing this man because I don't know the background. But that man beat that boy with compassion. Now, that sounds funny to say that. But we used to watch some shows and say, I'm going to whoop you. This hurts me more than it hurts you. That was kind of one of them things. And the mom might have been embarrassed. And it could have been handled differently, but it was handled that way. I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. Now, I'm going to digress. I'll read some of the comments on here, but I want to see what my panelists have to say. Lisa, you saw the video. What was your thoughts on what you saw?
Me personally, I feel probably at first I probably would feel some type of way because
Yeah, you the mom.
I don't know if she know this boy. I mean this man. Like it sounded like that they had a relationship before because he said that I told you this before. But I would feel some type of way because I don't want nobody else putting their hands on my kids. But at the same time, it's like a catch-22. At the same time, I will understand.
I'm assuming their relationship is kind of like when we go to the Dollar Tree, you see the same.
Yeah.
So she has to know him.
But I want to hear her.
I'm just establishing like they probably have some.
Yeah, but listen, I want Lisa because I want to hear from my mama. I want to hear from mom. This is real. Go ahead, Lisa, finish up. Not to cut you off, D, but I want to hear what she got to say.
I mean, I would feel some type of way, but she got to know her son still. She got to know her son. This is a habit he got, and if the father's in jail, I don't know, but maybe she don't have a male figure in his life. So at the same time, I would be mad, I would be upset, and I probably would go up there. But once I talk to that man and get a better understanding, I would calm down. But initially, I would feel some type of way. I probably would act a fool. She probably was embarrassed to have another person whoop your kid in the store because your kid keeps stealing. That's embarrassing. So she probably was embarrassed. But who's to say when the camera didn't go off, she didn't go and talk to that man and they got a different understanding. She didn't seem like it.
No, it seemed like she was in a talkative mood. Derek, what's your thought?
I mean, I like to let me get a little bit more right, wrong. I think it's a lot more complicated than that. You know what I mean? I understand. Was he wrong? You could say he was wrong. You could say, but it was like it was some ass whoopings are necessary. You know what I mean? Some you learn a lot from ass whoopings. You know what I mean? Like for real, like I understand the whole thing about slavery, and it is a lot of that culture that we use does come from slavery, but it's because violence is effective. It can be an effective, stopper. It's like, a little story when I was a kid. We used to get them little apples off the trees, the little apples and stuff, and we would throw them at cars. I don't know, maybe I was 7, 8 years old. And we was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was some badass.
And we was hiding behind the building, and it was a little field, and we throwing them at the cars, and when they would hit, we would run. We wouldn't run far because usually nobody ever stopped. Usually they would keep going, so we would only run a little bit and then come up. One time we hit a car good. It was one of the rotten apples, so it smashed. And they stopped and they got out. It was and they chased us and they did us pretty dirty. And they didn't do us as dirty as they could have done us, but they did us pretty dirty.
They whooped your ass like you should have got your ass whooped.
They whooped our ass. They whooped us until we started crying. And was they right? Was they wrong? You can argue both sides, but I know what? I never did that shit again.
Corrective action.
I learned, I never did that shit again. So it's like, once you cross a line, whatever happens, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you didn't cross the line. You just stole from the store several times. By the way, it's not now.
He could have shot you.
He could have shot you.
Yeah. Well, we see so many videos of people getting shot. We saw some videos of some people getting beaten at a beauty salon.
But I bet you 10 that the brother who did the whooping is thinking the same thing. Like,
I'm trying to save your life.
I'm trying to save your life.
You don't understand what it's up. And that's a unique thing. Okay, if you're just tuning in, this is full disclosure. We appreciate you tuning in. We're talking about a video of a little boy stealing in the store, and the store clerk whooped him. I'm going to play the video. I can't share my screen with you, but hopefully you can hear the audio decently. And I want you to kind of hear this, and then we're going to get DL's opinion.
Your ass, and I tell you, no, you got something, you got it. You got it right here. Look, you got batteries in your pocket. You already still. I'm watching you on camera. And I tell you, with your ass,
I'm sorry.
I like this.
He's whooping his ass pretty good, man. As a dad, I'm proud of that ass. I give that ass a 9.5.
I give it a 9. Just the execution,
Yeah,
the fact that he hit his ass each time. My mother could never get that right. Mom, I'm mad at you. I see somebody who know how to whoop
And
for
you
real.
had the hand where he couldn't run. He got the one hand hold.
And then he did the circle.
In a circle, in a perfect circle, in the circumference of the ass with the circle.
So if you had problems hearing that, what happened is the little boy was stealing. And the guy came out, the store clerk came out and said, hey, I caught you on camera stealing. He emptied his pockets and several gift cards fell out the little boy's pocket. He said, I told you about stealing before. Then he commenced to whooping his ass. He took a belt out, like old school belt, and whooped his ass. Then the mom runs in and she said, get your hands off my son. She said, if his father wasn't in jail, he'd be whooping your ass right now. That's my son. I told you I'd pay for it. So the moral of the story is it sounded like this little boy is habitually, like what Derek said, habitually stealing. And as a black man, I know a lot of times I find myself in a position where I talk to younger black guys and I say, hey, this is my experience. So with that being said, I'm going to read some of the comments up here. But DL, I want you to chime in. You the youngest person on this. How old are you?
19.
19. Okay.
I'm going to attack it from a different perspective. I'm going to take it from the perspective of the kid actually stealing. So, like you guys say in the old days, back in the day, like the whooping, like, okay, so where did it change at? Because I feel like at one point there was a great rebellion with our generation that stopped. We kind of put it into the whooping, because like in your day, a whooping was a whooping. You know what I mean? Society didn't look down upon a whooping. Nowadays, you get a whooping, you can get child abuse. You know what I mean? So. It's definitely more of a sensitive.
That's the answer to your question right there. It wasn't.
They neutered the parents.
They neutered the parent. It wasn't that your generation. We all need to get corrected, man. It's just part of what I'm saying. You need it. You look for that as a youngster. So what happens? And I don't know. Maybe Rich, you can elaborate when the laws changed, where you started to take the power out of the parents' hands. It started to neuter the parents. Where the kids, you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that.
We'll get to that because it was a plan. But I want to hear you finish your thought. Let him finish his thought, D.
Okay, so society nowadays, a whooping is looked differently than back in your guys' day. So wherever that shift was, but let's acknowledge that it exists, so that we have to put that into effect when we watch that video. So secondly, me as a younger generation, like. When I did bad things that I knew I can get a whooping for, I mean, and I can attest that this is a generational thing. Long-term effects are more punishing than a quick whooping. So, for example, let me just give you an example. Say it's like, okay, I'm gonna steal this brownie from. I remember one time we went to Giant Eagle, and I was real small, and I remember I seen a cartoon talking about some super duper brownies. And so we went to Giant Eagle, and there was brownies in the cart. And I mean, I seen some brownies. I'm like, and I was scared to ask one of y'all to pay for it, so I snuck it in the cart. You know what I mean? And then when mom had a receipt or whatever, we got home, and I really wanted them brownies. You know what I mean? I was taking it no matter what. You know what I mean? And I knew worst case scenario, I was gonna get a 5-minute whooping and it'd be over with, but I was gonna have them brownies. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean?
Pay the price.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So but I mean, I got a whipping for it, whatever. But I still had the brownies now.
It could take it back.
Now, punishments that used to kill me is when you say, "Okay, you're not playing the game. I'm taking the game away." That's a long-term punishment. You're taking the game away. You know what I mean? That's not something that's over with. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the whooping, I mean that's why the kid is even doing that in the first place, because his mom
ain't gonna do nothing.
Is not gonna do nothing.
She's gonna explain it away.
Exactly. So and the point I'm trying to make is this: from your point when you said when we call it spaded.
Neuter.
Okay, so.
Spaded too. That works.
So now today's moms really young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a whole different wave of moms. and those moms have been whooped, you know what I mean, by their generation, you know what I mean, the past generation, but they don't want, you know what I mean, so it's like they're soft now, you know, I don't want to call it soft, but it's like parenting now is soft, and the dad's not even in the picture majority of the time.
Well, in this case, we don't talk about this case. She said, where was the dad?
In jail.
And
wasn't there.
In jail. So this man stepped in as a secondary male. Yeah. Okay, let's go to some comments. You made some great points. Charles Foster, he hit on the head what you just said, Derek. Y'all watching Full Disclosure? We're talking about the video of the young man getting his ass whooped in the store for stealing gift cards. His daddy was in jail. His mama was embarrassed. Charles Foster said, blame it on the government for the changes. So that goes right into what we was just talking about, and we could have a whole thing about that. That's that prison, that school pipeline going on.
Yeah, we had to do that one.
We're gonna get in that. Veronica Thorne said people no longer have a village mentality, and that's only a small part of the problem. Charles came back to say the government started 696 Kids Hotline, and that's why you can't discipline your kids. Hey, Charles, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I fuck my kids up. If you messed up, you getting fucked up. Now, I ain't do it like my mama, because, right, this was a whooping utensil. This was a whooping utensil. This was a utensil for whooping in my house. Whatever my mama could grab. You know, I remember she choked my brother with a water hose. So, hey, that was just home correction. My mom wasn't abusive.
I mean,
so,
you know what, even now, man, with the current, you know what I'm saying, with the current situation, the current environment of whoopings, and, yeah, we know we don't, but I think the threat of violence still has to be there. Like, you got to know, like, an ass whooping is around the corner.
I would think so.
You know what I mean? Because that's what affected, like, you know, my uncle.
Scared straight.
Shout out to my uncle, who was my father, you know what I'm saying, when my father wasn't there.
John Rankin.
He never whooped me one time. But I knew an ass whooping was waiting around the corner. Like, he would talk to me. He'd take his shirt off and his gun, and he would give that look like, I will whoop your ass, but I'm not. You know, but I knew that it was impossible. You know what I mean? It's like you have to have that ass whooping as a deterrent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't have to go to it every time. That's what makes it more effective. Because if I have to whoop your ass, then you know, you just shouldn't. I don't think you should whoop them for anything.
I don't either.
The situation in this video right here, that was an ass whooping offense. When a stranger whoop your ass, and his heart was in the right place. I have no doubt about that.
Watch the video. If you can find the video, watch it.
I don't think we can argue that his heart was in the right place. And
there was no malice in that.
Yeah, it was no malice. And the one thing about it was a change. Like, I remember when we get paddled. I remember I was so scared to get paddled because I didn't want my mom to find out.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if somewhere it shifted, like when something.
I can't wait to tell my mama. I can't wait to tell my mama.
You better not put your hands on me. I'm gonna tell my mama.
And somewhere in there, you know, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. It was a shift, like where, like, I didn't want my mama to know I got paddled.
Yeah, no, because you get it again. You get it double jeopardy. Hold on one second, Patrick Bubba Boy Cole. Here's one scenario. If your kid is a known asshole in the neighborhood who gets in trouble often, and you know that you can't rely on his parents to do anything, you could take it upon yourself to whoop his ass. That's a good point. Veronica Thornton said, I'm a mom. If I was in that same situation, then I would rather the store owner do it than him calling the police and my son possibly not making it home. I have 2 sons, and if someone I know sees them doing anything wrong, I would rather they address it than the police. Yeah. And I agree with that, because y'all know calling the police on a young black man might mean see, I tell my son, I can come get you out of jail. I can't come get you out of grave. Charles Foster said he shouldn't have whooped the kid. He should have called the police and then told the mom being a store owner or clerk. See, now you're getting that boy a record. So it's like, are you creating the criminal? Could you stop the criminal behavior by that whooping? Or, you know, are you exacerbating it by calling the police? See, it's such a fine line. I think anything he did was wrong. I guess the rightest thing to do, if we had a little thing to ding, the most rightest, I got such a great vocabulary. Brandon McThorne, if the store clerk chose to spank the child rather than call the police, what's up, B? Yeah, we go way back to when he was a kid, man. If the store clerk chose to spank the child rather than call the police, I personally think that the store clerk showed him love. Thank you. He potentially stopped the cycle in his family of men going to prison in that moment. A whooping in exchange for a criminal record, I will have that, take that all day. Man, you summed that up very perfectly. That's it. What's up, Terry Sanders? He said, family. Jewel Jahara said, hey, bro. Charles said, I grew up the same way, but it's a different era. Parents are not the same these days. You know, I'm going to say this because we're coming to the 45-minute mark, Dean. We got to give you some time to do your thing. I want to end it like this. We are at a different time. There are things put in place in order to take power away from the family, in order for the police to raise our children. It's the same reason why you have a bill telling you to move from class to class. It is getting you ready for the structure of prison. And they took and they emasculated males starting in 1970. And they took the father out of the home and made the government the father. All of a sudden, you start seeing women saying, I could do bad by myself, all by myself, blah, blah, blah. This mantra came because the government stepped in and tried to take the place of the black man. There is no exchange for a man in the home. Even if the man is not in the home, let these kids spend time with their fathers. I'm a proponent. If you're a woman, raise that boy till he's about 12 years old, and at a certain point, give him to his father. Let his father raise him from 13 on up, because at that point he needs that direction. That's just my
So what if
personal
the father
thing.
ain't never been into the boy's life?
If the father ain't never been in the boy's life and he doesn't want that responsibility, then you have to do what you have to do. Veronica Thornton said, yes, sir. Yes, they're soft and want their kids friends instead of their parents. They want to be friends with their kids instead of parents. My sons know they can come talk to me about anything, just as they know I do not and will not condone bad behavior. As there are people who are waiting for them to mess up, say that, so they can end up in jail or dead. They will not just be another statistic. It is a scary thing to raise a black male. I will say that. My son, he rides his bike home from work every day. I ain't worried about gangs, nothing like that. You know who I'm worried about? The police. I'm worried about the police messing with my son. So, y'all, we're gonna move on this topic because we're coming up on it. We at the 47-minute mark. Y'all watching Full Disclosure. You got my man, Big D, Derek Williams. You got the lady of the house, Lisa Burnett. You got our special guest, DL, is in the house. And then you got your boy, Baba Dick
What's a
Green.
little gray?
So,
What's the name?
Derek.
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know, you know.
It's still,
Thank
just,
y'all.
Don't be little nothing, man. Don't have little nothing.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I don't.
You gotta think big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big deal. All right, Derek, what you got?
What's up, y'all? We gonna talk about Miss Omarosa.
Omarosa.
If anybody who's been paying attention, and I don't even really pay attention.
Talking about that dog?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me stop.
Omarosa. Miss Omarosa, who was a long-time associate of Mr. Donald Trump, is coming out with a book. Is the book out?
The book is out.
The book is out.
Tell all. She telling
all
all.
book about Donald Trump and everything is going on.
Unhinged. I think it's called Unhinged.
And there's a tape, allegedly.
Few tapes
that Donald Trump is saying disparaging remarks about black and brown people. Now, do we really need to hear this tape, people? Do we need to hear the tape? We don't need to hear the tape, but we know what it is. But anyway, Omarosa has applications come in to see if the black delegation will accept her back into the realm of the black. You know, so put to a vote, do we accept Omarosa's application?
No. Y'all chime in, y'all.
Anybody, black folks, do we accept Omarosa back?
No.
I'm going to vote no also.
She keep her black ass back on over there.
Yes, you understand. You've been with Donald Trump 14 years, what I read. And just now after you get fired, now he's a racist. Now it's just like, you know, when black folks, when you, all the preachers that went up there to visit Trump, when you associate yourself with these people, you giving them power. You giving them, you giving this man power. You giving him the ability to point you and show you off and see, and you validated this man. You know what I mean? And now because you get fired, now you want to come clean. Now I didn't believe he's changed and he's bullshit, man. The flag 15 yards, I call bullshit. Omarosa does not get my vote. Black delegation says no.
No, leave her. He been calling her niggers since for how long? 14
This
years.
the tape is from The Apprentice.
Right,
Yeah.
so he been
The tape is
calling
from The
niggas for how
Apprentice.
long? No.
Well, you know
Leave
what?
a black ass over there.
As far as Omarosa go, I think, I speak for a lot of brothers and sisters when I say we don't give a damn about her in general, because you sold us out every single chance you can get. And you sold us out for a better life. You sold us out to sit at the foot of the table, and that's exactly where you sat. And for you now to, I remember when you said, you better respect Trump and he's going to come after everybody and all this other stuff you said on the news in front of a live camera. And now
She co-signed.
she co-signed it. And once you got your just desserts, you sour grapes. Now, I did have a post on my page where, when he called her a dog, that was a misogynistic statement. At a certain point, as a man, you take a high road. You sitting there and you getting catty with a woman. Donald Trump, you need to check yourself for real. Then the next thing was he questioned her intelligence again, which is his pattern when it comes to black folks. But this is about Omarosa. My vote is no. If I'm part of the black delegation, which I feel I am, I say no. You are not welcome back. You and O.J. Simpson and Tiger Woods can go chill and go kick it somewhere. You're not welcome back. Can't come back home. Sigh.
They get lifetime bans. They all three get lifetime bans.
Lifetime ban. You know what?
Exiled.
But you know what?
Exiled forever.
I ain't
Off
even
with
lying.
your head.
When he almost won last week, I was rooting for him. Hey, Patrick Bubba Boy Cole said, I say we don't support the book. Even if you're curious about what she has to say, she danced with the devil and surprised he fucked her over. Like, wow, did that snake put venom in me? Yeah, he did. He did.
It's just so heavy, It's just so crazy to me. It's like we have an actual reality TV show.
In the White House.
In the White House.
In the White House.
Well, that's what it is. It's a reality TV show. And it's like entertaining. It's like, it's a joke, man. It's so funny. It's like, and I watched the interview and I'm listening to her and, she was so, you watched her before, she was so gung-ho. And it wasn't about Trump. It was never about Trump. It was about her lot. You know what I'm saying? What we do as black folks, that's what we talk, who we really talking to. No offense to white people, we talking to black folks. When we get our pie, we get our little piece of pie, we you know what I'm saying, we feel like we got to hold on to it so tight, and then we got to shit on everybody else or push everybody else to the side so we can keep moving up the ladder, because the farther you get up the ladder, the more you have to sacrifice. When when they talking about selling your soul to the devil, that's basically what you're saying.
That's it.
To get every letter of the rope you go in corporation and politics, you have to make concessions. You have to make concessions as far as you go up, far as you go up, far as you go up. If you're black, obviously Donald Trump didn't have to make any concessions. You know what I mean? He just could, that's white privilege. But when you do that, when you done got there and you ain't represented for the people and you done co-sign white supremacy, because basically that's what you're doing. As a black person, you're co-signing white supremacy, which makes white supremacy even more powerful. Mm-hmm. Because the reason it's so powerful is because it can hide. It can hide, and so one way it hides is behind us, and we jump up in front of it just like fuck. We take it for one for the team, like you know what I mean. And now you got sour grapes because you got embarrassed. I can't believe that she lost that much money working for the White House. You know what I mean? I know she was one of the highest ranked officers when she was in there, but she gonna get that money. You embarrassed, you ashamed, and now it's sour grapes. Now I'm gonna put you on blast and tell the world. It was a post that said they need to, when they released the tape, they was like Donald Trump should release it, because once they hear him say nigga, his ratings gonna go high.
Oh, he's gonna be sky high. His rating gonna be higher than the Cosby Show in his heyday. Hey, wait, hold on. Veronica just said Omarosa and those black pastors are examples of the mentality that many so-called black people have. If they think it will benefit them, then they will jump the fence at every turn. People should look at it as a lesson on what to look out for when we speak of revolution, as they are the ones truly holding us back. I agree with that. Patrick Bubba Boy Cole said, like Chris Rock said, we got the cast of The Apprentice running the White House, running the world. You know what I'm saying? We have a reality show.
This is
You know,
a joke.
so it was something, and this kind of goes with the Omarosa thing. I made a post about what Trump was saying. I pointed out that the misogynistic thing about the dog comment was calling her a bitch, covert. The insult about her intelligence was a play on black people not being as intelligent as white folk. Then I had a white man come on and say, he basically didn't feel that way. And it was said like, hey, a racist ain't gonna call out another racist or ain't gonna agree with another racist. But, I like to think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. I really feel when we're looking at what's going on in the White House, you have people who draw political lines. And through politics and religion are some polarizing things because it's a belief system. And if you're willing to forgive everything this man is saying and doing, it's dangerous. It's going way past just the political line. And I think sometimes people don't understand why people like us would be so passionate as to why this is hurtful. You have someone in here saying this, you seeing a rise in racial tension, a rise in racial violence. And then you have somebody like Omarosa who want to flip-flop now that she's not in favor, now that she can't be the bed wench of Donald Trump. Now you want to be mad. But you decide to lay down with the dog. Now you got fleas. Now you want to cry about it. I'm not even sorry. Fuck you, Omarosa.
Because you're the first one to go throw her in the bus. That's why they had to keep the Mother Brothers around so they can have bodies to drop.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy, man. Like, what's your take on it, fellas?
Kevin Durant, you joined the team to beat him. And so, is it kind of what it is when you join the white, like first of all, why are you even working for him in the first place? Like, do you have any morally like
you see what's going on?
Like, I listen.
Is it check?
I don't care. Listen, if Donald Trump came to me, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, just morally. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even looking at I don't think I could do it. I mean, I can't sell out like that. You know what I mean? So, but.
It reminds me, man, real quick, when I used to work at this one paint shop. And the Dillard brothers actually owned it. The ones that, I don't know if they were the one that owned Dillard's. That's what I was told. They owned Dillard's. Okay. And they were brothers or whatever. And every blue moon, they would come down on the shop, on the floor, where I was working people. And it was me. It was only two brothers that was working there. It's me and his other brother. Now, me and him never talked, but he was only there for a week. You know what I mean? Because once I got there, they didn't need him.
We have a new token. We have a new token.
So I swear, a week after I showed up, he was gone. So
they had that Negro photo.
And so they would come down on the floor. They would come down on the floor, and they would they were so friendly, and they would just tell all these corny ass jokes. And everybody would just be circled around them, laughing their ass off. And I would be like, please don't come my way. Please don't come my way. And then, of course, they would make their way. And they would tell me the worst jokes, man. And these guys just, they're just the funny. And I would just look at them like, you know what I'm saying? But see, that's the game. Like, if you want to play the game, if you want to be in with them, you have to laugh at your jokes. You have to go golfing with them. You have to do all those things. It ain't just about how good you are at what you do. If you don't do all that, you can't get to that. In that corporation, it's like you play the game. But at what cost to your soul? At at what point can you start? Do you look in the mirror and be like, can you look in the mirror? Like, I guess we all have to make that determination. But you also have to deal with the consequences. Omarosa, You know what I'm saying? We fucked up with OJ. You know what I'm saying? We let OJ back in our good graces. And it really wasn't because we just wanted because of OJ. OJ stood for something else. OJ, we sorry that OJ got off. We really for OJ getting off.
We just want a black man to win for once.
Exactly. For the point is, you see so many brothers who get locked up for nothing. For shit, and then white people was doing shit and not getting no punishment. So at that moment, it was a guilty pleasure to see a black man.
What's up, Andre?
Get off on it. But it was more about the system.
Fighting the system.
OJ showed that he never was black. He never wanted to be black. He always wanted to be accepted into that old school, and he still do it. You know, he even came out. Oh, I would never have kneeled. Of course you would, OJ. You know goddamn well. That's why the black delegation or whatever is so true back. We already had him in there, right? OJ, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, OJ, Tiger Woods, Omarosa. They all done. Hey, real quick, y'all join full disclosure. We just had a discussion on this book called The Secret.
The Secret.
The Secret.
Make sure you read it.
Make sure you read it. So we talked about that. That's Rhonda Byrne. Go check it out.
Also a little documentary DVD out there too. It's on YouTube. It's called The Secret. So if you can't read or you don't want to read,
you know, folks don't
check that out.
Right. So watch the video. Watch the video.
We also talked about there was an incident this week where a store clerk whooped a young brother whooped another young brother for stealing in the store. Mine was very embarrassed, and you know, we had a passionate thing about that. And then we just talk about Omarosa. With the black delegation let Omarosa back in, and this portion of the black delegation
I didn't see no votes on here.
No.
Where's some vote? We got some votes out here.
Well,
we need you guys to vote. Or should Omarosa be?
Should we let her back in?
Let her back in.
Should we let her with the colored
I'm
folk?
saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, leave her out the yard.
Elisa Holt say that. Elisa Holt also said, I believe Trump is a dictator. Terry Sanders said Daryl Scott gets a pass, though. And Patrick Patrick she's going to make a lot of money with this book, though. So, I mean, as far as that goes with Daryl Scott, saying Trump is the most pro-black president. So you're my nephew has a Kanye West on the list. We still deliberating with this one. I realized his album was fire. Kanye is very talented. You say what you want about him. Kanye talented, and we all know he bipolar. What did he say? He said my bipolar ain't a disorder; it's a superpower. So you know what? Jason Stefan for joining us. Andre Avar. You know everybody. That chimed in.
I said, Lisa Holt, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey. Yeah, Terry Sanders, he gets no pass on this.
He gets no pass. We're talking about Daryl Scott. He gets no pass. We're gonna talk again. Y'all join the podcast right now on Podomatic. I'll have the link up on the page. Go join Full Disclosure. We'll make sure. Hold on, Veronica Thornton just said only her skin is black. She was never black because she didn't want to be like the rest of them that don't want to be black. And you know that's a dangerous thing. I saw a few things when even LeBron James put a school up. The first thing they do is prop up black people to talk against black people. It's got Jesse. What's that one guy? Oh my God, Jesse. What's his name?
Jesse Jackson?
No, not Jesse Jackson. No, Jesse Williams. No, not Jesse Williams. No, it's another Jesse. I can't think of his name. You know what? I'm gonna have a whole show about him. I'm gonna bring up a topic of him. No, Jesse Williams. That's the actor. That's a good brother. Talking people like Sheriff Clark, just people who come in and always speak against their own people. When you speak against your own interests, you really, really, really are lost. You're not even looking outside yourself for God. You're looking outside yourself for some sort of validation that you'll never, ever get. To always see yourself as wretched, to always see yourself as wrong. That's a very poisonous thought process. What did Patrick just said? I won't ever support Kanye. I don't care how fire that shit is. Hey, man, you know what? You got to say that. You got to say that because, I loved how he was on, I saw it twice. It was on Jimmy Kimmel show. And Jimmy Kimmel said, you said that George Bush didn't like black people. What makes you think that Donald Trump does? Kanye couldn't answer. And then someone posted a video where Charlemagne the God actually brought that same question to him, and the same thing happened. Let's stop BSing. But Trump is racist.
But see the thing too, man. When you say with Kanye, and I always I have friends that have different political views than me. I have friends that have different religious views than me. You know what I'm saying? And I consider friends. You know what I mean? We don't all have to think the same. I understand Kanye West is in a position, and he really shouldn't be, just because he's a celebrity. And all of a sudden, people put so much weight in what the fuck he got to say. Kanye West ain't, he makes good music, you know what I mean? So I don't share the same views as Kanye West, but that don't mean I can't support him. That doesn't mean I can't support what he does. You know what I mean? That don't mean I can't listen to his album or buy a record. I'm not supporting what he thinks. I'm supporting him as an artist. You know, just, and no different than I have discussions with people who don't share my, you know, my thoughts, and we can talk about it and we can have discussions about these things. But at the end of the day, you know, Kanye is a brother. You know what I mean? So I'm going to vote yay on Kanye. Because all he's doing, yeah, what he's saying can be damaging, but it's only because we as society thinks, because what was that quote you say? We think, you know, when a celebrity sneezes, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, if a celebrity sneeze, everybody gotta be like, oh, did you see Beyonce sneeze? Jay-Z was sneezing.
It's crazy. So it's like, you know, he didn't do anything but just he wore a magna hat. He said some stupid shit, which Kanye also always says stupid shit.
You know what's crazy? That celebrities even exist, that we actually look at people in a different light that are people. Like the fact that I don't know how people manage to brainwash the masses to create the idea of a celebrity, because like me and Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? We the same human, you know what I mean? Like I don't like it's when you really dive deep inside the damage they did to the masses. Like really, like we worship other people. Like it's crazy.
What's
crazy.
Let's hold that.
Okay.
Get into the podcast.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna switch to the podcast. So, hey, we're gonna be live on. Find us in your Apple feed. It's gonna be full disclosure with Derek, Lisa, and Rich. Y'all look in your podcast to see the rest of this. But before we go, my man Terrence Myers over at Move for Less. If you're looking for a job, my man Terrence Myers at Move for Less. He's looking for a few guys that want to make some cash. Make some cash working for his moving company tomorrow. Hit him up at 216-206-8988. So if you're ready to make some money tomorrow, if you're in Cleveland area, call this number, 216-206-8988. That is Move for Less. Dia, what is the name of your album again?
Okay, well,
speak up. I can't hear you.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the link in my bio on Facebook. I don't. It's like you website link, like a whole bunch of random. You know what I mean?
Tell me your name on Facebook.
My Facebook name is Derek Williams with 2 K's at the end to just make a difference from
DEREKK.
There will be times I will try to look at my profile and then I will go to his page. I'm like, oh my God. So I just did the 2 K's, but yeah, I'm gonna post the link in there. So go check it out, and maybe in future episodes I can play something for you guys. So thank you.
Hey, could you make us an intro? How about you do that for us? Could you make us an intro for our show?
Like Sway in the morning where they freestyle, you turn the beat on.
Hey, well, next time we're going to have him freestyle next time in the show.
Don't tables either.
Go to Aura Royalty. Aura of Royalty. Get your tables from Aura Royalty.
Everybody, thanks again, man. Thank you for participating and commenting. Everybody that commented, please share the link, share the video. You know what I mean? Please share them in the groups. You know what I'm saying? And
we're about to get really real, y'all.
All love all day, man.
Thanks again. Thanks for everybody joining us. Hold on, I gotta say this before I go. My man Patrick Bubba Boy Cole said one thing about Trump: because of his narcissism, he's easy to flatter. So if you're an opportunist, it would actually benefit to kiss up to him. You know what? I have to say this. That's right. Hey, everybody that joined us once again, Derek, send us out. I mean this.
All love all day, baby. Thanks again. We out.
Let's do it, baby. All right, we're going to move in.